残酷な天使のように少年よ神話になれ
What is up, guys? Super Godzilla 1974 here, back with another video, and today's review is going to be on the Bandai Standard Godzilla 1964, also known as the Mosogoji. The reason I want to review this figure, a lot of people hate it, and a lot of people like it. I haven't really found any in-betweeners on it or anything. It's just, some people say it's ugly, it doesn't look like the suit, honestly, it doesn't look like a suit, but I like it because, one, it was one of the first Bandai figures ever released by Bandai. It was in the first 5, as some people call it. So I give it some slack. No one complains about the Mechagodzilla figure that, in my opinion, looks god-awful. So, I kind of have a soft spot for it, just because, it is in the first standard line, and for what it is, it actually is pretty cool. Alright, let's start with articulation, because just like with the Godzilla 2000 figure, it is very limited, so we can just get right through it. Basically, you get your arms that swivel at the shoulders right here. Really kind of a weird pose, almost like he's trying to give you a hug or something. Down here, your legs move, just like any other Bandai figure. And the tail actually moved before I superglued it. That's because when I bought it at G-Fest, it was extremely loose. Like, I could shake it and it was just going all over the place. It was crazy. Drove me nuts, so I just put a little dab of superglue down inside here so you couldn't see it on the outside, and there you go. It's fixed. So it's almost like it's got a glue seal. Head does not move. So yeah, on mine I have 4 points of articulation. On other people's, they were going to have 5 because, like I just said, I glued mine. Alright, let's go up close and see what this guy looks like with all his detail. For a figure made in the 80s, this guy is actually pretty well detailed. You can see he's got his bark skin, kind of scaly, all around the figure. And it's basically the same thing throughout the entire thing. Just scales all down to the tail, just scales. As you can see, the head sculpt, that's one of the reasons why people don't like it, is because some people say that it does not look a lot like the Mosogoji. But, I could see it. I definitely see it with this figure. So, inside the mouth, you see the teeth. They're not individually sculpted. They're just one piece of vinyl. Same with the tongue. Tongue's painted red. You got your eyes that are just painted black. And then the silver on the top of the head. Spines, one big hunk of vinyl. They're not individually carved into, I say. Just one big blocky piece of vinyl going down the side of the figure. That's basically it for detail on this guy. Alright, something I want to talk about real quick is actually the paint job on my figure. Mine is sprayed with a ton of silver. Like, that, I've seen pictures, and I haven't seen anyone else's that has that much silver on it. Like, mine is silver to the max. Like, second place silver medal. Like, in the hands, there's a ton of silver. On the chest, there's silver everywhere. The knees aren't that bad. Same with the toenails. The spines, just silver. But it's mainly the chest area. I'm not sure why mine got the extra coating of silver, but it doesn't really bother me. It's just, I don't know. I kind of prefer one that's not, almost a silver figure. But in this case, I'll just let it pass. I really don't care. I'm not going to paint it or anything like that. So yeah, let's hurry up and move to size comparison. Here he is next to the SH Monster Arts Mosogoji. As you can see, the Bandai one completely just dominates it in size. The Monster Arts one was little to begin with, but these don't compare at all. One's tiny and one's huge. Here he is next to the Diamond Select Godzilla 1974 Vinyl Bank. this one's almost the opposite case. The Bandai one is smaller than the Vinyl Bank, but that's because they're in two different scales. That's basically it. Yeah, Diamond Select, bigger than the 8 inches. Here he is next to a Gashapon Godzilla 1974, just because I want to do 74 today. He's tiny. He's tiny, that's it. That's all there is to it. Gashapon is tiny. And the last figure I'm going to compare him with is the Bandai Standard King Ghidorah. And as you can see, they're in the same, like, I don't know, the standard series. They're both 8 inches in the 8-inch scale, except they're not in scale. Godzilla should be way smaller. I don't know, that's one reason people complain too, that it's out of, all the original standard figures are out of scale, but like I said, it really doesn't bother me that much. They look good next to each other on the shelf, especially if you have all the 5 original standard figures. So, I mean, if you're going to complain about it, don't put them next to each other. If not, they actually look pretty good. So yeah. Alright, that basically concludes my review. I give it a 7 out of 10 because it's not a fantastic figure, but it's not as bad as a figure as everyone makes it out to be. I know a lot of people that have it and enjoy it, and I also know a lot of people that have it or don't have it and hate it. But I really don't see the hate. A lot of Godzilla figures, people give too much, like they don't cut enough slack. Like this was made in 1984, which brings me to another point. I'm not sure if this is actually a bootleg or not. To my knowledge, there's no bootlegs of this figure, but something... Oh gosh, sorry, I shook the camera a little bit. But something I noticed on the bottom of mine, you got Bandai, all that over there. Then mine says 1983. So, I mean, I really don't know. Maybe someone bootlegged this and put 83 on it. I'm pretty positive it's not, though, because before this video I was doing some research on it. And all the sites told me that the first one was released in 84, so that's why I'm going to look into it after this. I'll probably put it in the description box. Another reason why it might be is because all the silver. That might just be because it was from the 80s and they just put more silver on it, but I mean, I don't know. With bootlegs, I mean, I got mine at G-Fest, so I hope it's not a bootleg. I bought it from Radioactive Toys, so, I mean, I don't know. There's always a possibility, but from what I know, I can basically say that this is not a bootleg. So yeah, that's basically it. Super Goji out.